Hello, Mr. Hine. This lesson's talking about how to graph a line. We're going to go through 5 examples, and hopefully it helps it make sense, but thank you for watching this. I do hope that these are helpful to you. So if you look at this first one, we have y equals 3/4 x minus 1. So just a reminder, the number that's before the x, that's the slope, and the number at the end, or that's without the x, that's the starting value. Or sometimes in graph language, we also call it the y-intercept. So the slope slash the rate of change, or you can think about it as rise over run. All of those work there. So to graph these, you always start here. All right. So -1 you start, and you always start on the y-axis because this is when x equals 0. So you're going to start at -1. Put a point right there. There's -1. All right. And then from there, how do you get every other point? How do you make your line? Is then you do the slope, which is 3/4. So then that means you're going up 3, right 4, because they're both positive. So it's up 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4 over 4. And there's your next point. And you could keep going if you want to. You can go up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4. You can make as many points as you want. And you can even go backward. You could go down 1, 2, 3 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, because they all should line up. And then you connect it. And there is that equation. Y equals 3/4 x minus 1. Starting at -1. I'll highlight that. It starts at -1. Is that point right there, and then use the 3/4 for the points. So this right there, you use to get all your other points. Okay. Let's look at a few more. So now we're going to graph y equals -2x plus 5. So make a graph. XY axes. Now again, the number without the x, so that's your start. So x equals 0, or on the y-axis. That's why it's called the y-intercept. Start at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5. We'll mark that. And then this right here is your slope. Now, notice that there's no number underneath it. It's not like this one over there. If there's no number underneath it, there's always like an invisible 1, because -2/1 is the same as -2. So negative means we're going to go down 2, and then we're still going right 1. So then down 2, right 1. And you could keep going down 2, right 1, keep going down 2, right 1. And there is the next line. And notice how I draw the line all the way through the points, and I put arrows on it because it keeps going. These don't end as far as we know. No context here. Okay, the third one here. And again, feel free to pause if you need to see an answer. That's the benefit of this being a video versus live time. Make the graph. So this one starts at -5. Let me keep using a highlighter so you guys can see this. So back in this column, your starting value is your first point right there. In this problem, your starting value is -5, which means we're going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's -5. That's always your first point. Because that's when x equals 0. Or again, that's your y-intercept. Where does it cross the y-axis? Okay, and then your slope here is 4/3. So that means you're going to go up 4, right 3 to get all the other points, the steepness here. So up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3. There's the next point. And show the up 4, right 3. And you can go again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You can go backwards, down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, and there you go. And that's what that one looks like, which is good. It starts at a negative and it's going up. By the way, notice, before I go on to the last two, for number 2, notice that we had a negative slope, like you're going down over time. Well, notice that your line is going down. So that's always an indicator if you see a negative or positive. Should the line be going down or should the line be going up, as you see here when it's a positive 4/3. All right, now 4 and 5, you have questions like this, and I just want to go over these. It's going to be a little tricky, possibly. So notice that there's no x. We could actually write this as y equals 0x minus 4, if that helps you, which tells you that you still start at -4. So you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, -4. And then the slope is 0, meaning you're not changing anywhere. So no matter what x you're at, if you go right 1, if you go right 2, if you go left 1, left 2, no matter where you go, you're always at -4, meaning that this line is just a horizontal line like this. So notice that's why your slope is 0. You're not changing. You're just staying at -4. Right? All of these points, like that's 1 -4, that's 2 -4, that's 3 -4. Notice how all those points, the y value is -4. Right? And that's why it's a horizontal line there. And then on a similar kind of idea, now this one's the most difficult, is x equals 1. Notice that it's x and not y. So you're saying every x value is 1. Well, x is your left and right, right? So that means you gotta go right 1, and there's x equals 1, and x equals 1 actually makes a vertical line, like so. That's x equals 1. And the reason for that is because there's no y value, so that means that it's always x equals 1. So notice here's the point 1, 0. That would be the point right 1, up 1. That would be the point right 1, up 2. This would be the point right 1, down 1. And notice all those points, notice that the x value is 1 in all those points. Right? And you get a vertical line there. So 4 and 5 are trickier, but make sure you can do 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 is where we need you to be at. All right?